Hello, hello. Okay, can you hear me?
Hello.
All right, all right. Okay, let's get started. So today is the last class before the midterm exam. So today we're gonna look at So I'm gonna give you some. I'm gonna provide you with some midterm study guide as well as I'm gonna finish up, the XSS attack and then a CSRF attack, and I'm gonna show you some demonstrations on this attack. All right. All right, so we have seen a CSRF attack, right? So I'm gonna show you I'm gonna recover again what's the CSRF attack very briefly, right? The client you, and then attackers send you the phishing email, and then the phishing email HTML code include, the image tag include a source code, the source and the source included like attack URL, right? Attack URL have the bank.com, the transfer amount of money to attackers. This is a get method. Get method is was retrieved by attack retrieved by clients. So as soon as the client browsers encounter this image tag and automatically send a request to bank.com, the bank.com, the bank.com, the request this message to bank.com, and then because the bank.com, there's the bank.com, that's why cookie is sent to also sent to the bank.com along with this request. As I said, the browser automatically visits the URL to obtain the web is believed to be this image because the browsers believe that this is image, and the browsers believe that this is image, and that's why they're gonna to render this image under the browsers, the client's browser. That's why they send a request to obtain the image. However, it's not only it is not image. This is the you know this is the request to the send the money to the attackers. So when the bank receive this message, it's transfer money to the attackers.com. So all right, so I'm gonna show you again. So the first, there's a three actors, right? The clients and the attackers and the bank.com. And the bank.com has no idea, just that they have no they have no problem at all. But the thing is that there's client and attackers. The attackers are trying to send the email, the targeting the send email to the targeting the clients, and then the HTML code include image. The source code is bank.com. Transfer amount is 100 to attackers. And then when the browser saw this image tag and they automatically visit the URL, obtain the what believes to be the image, and then send image, on the clients they send the request to the bank.com and with the cookie, and then bank believes that cookie, and then they parse the cookie and they verify the cookie, and then legitimately the URL sent from the clients, and the bank.com transfer money to the attackers. All right, so I will show you CSRF attack. So all right. Let me see. Okay, so can you see the virtual machines here, right? So this is a website where the I don't know how to pronounce it, but this is like open source for the social network. So, so this is a website like a social network like a Facebook. So I'm going to show you the demonstrations. So there's a two, assume that there's a lot of people, but the client Sammy is an adversary, like attackers, and then Alice is the victim. So here's a scenario that the Sammy really like Alice, but Alice don't like Sammy. So Sammy several times send the friend request to the Alice. However, Alice refused add it to the ELG, the social network, friend list. So that's why the Sammy the stalking her, but the Sammy is the one to see the the Facebook the post. That's why Sammy decided to use CSRF attack to achieve his goal. His goal is that he wants to be her friend on the ELG, the social network, the web page, and then Alice he sent Alice URL via email or something, and then Alice is curious about it and then click the URL, and then which leads her to the semi website, something like that. All right, and then when the Alice click it, and automatically Alice send the friend request to Sammy. Automatically, the friendship is made. So I'm going to show you the demonstration is that there is a Sammy and then password. Okay, there we go. So here is a Sammy. So here, this is a social network. This is a Sammy account. You can see that. So here you can see that there is a blog, and then also you can see that there is a member, right? There's a Sammy, the Charlie, Bobby, Alice, and admin. However, we are not target on Alice and the Sammy. Okay, so let's look at the friend request, because we want to send this friend request over using the CR Safari attack, right? So let's just see the Alice and then add friend link and add friends request, right? So you can see that um, so he that, but the L is the same. Remember that Sammy sent a lot of requests to the friend requests to the Alice. However, Alice refused every time. So here is the Alice. So you can see that in the bottom, the URL is that seems like a CRSF attack. You can see that. So here, take a look at here. I'm not sure if the font is very small for you guys. So add here is that I will show you that the inspection impact, and then let's take a look at here. Uh, here is that the link is that CSRF, you know, oops, the CSR at labag.com action is a friends add, and the friends is a 56. Oh, and then we realized that the friends is add friend is 56. 56 is the Alice number. So which means that the user ID is six the 56 is a semi number, right? As 56 is Alice, which means that we need to know that the semi the user ID, and then so we're gonna send this URL, with the image tag to Alice. If the Alice load this image, and the automatic friendship is made on the Facebook. So we realized that okay, we're gonna copy this URL, and we need to figure out this user number ID. So and then so this the timestamp and the secret token is should be the countermeasure against this the against the CRS of attack, but for this lab, so I disable this timestamp and the token as well. So as long as we know this user ID, we can easily made up this URL and send the URL to Alice, and then we're gonna lure Alice to click it, and then as soon as Alice click the malicious URL, and then the friendship on the Facebook and the social network is made. So okay, and then we need to figure out the same as the user ID. All right, so let's go to the profile. Let's take a look at what's the user ID of the SEMI. So here, so let's take a look at that. Okay, same view source. And then let's take a look at GUID. There we go. So here is that. the GUID is that, like, you can see that when I click the edit and the submit the edit the profile, you can see that there is a GUID. GUID is a 59. Oh, I see. My GUID is a user ID is a 59. So when I replace the 56 to 59, and then so someone who encountered the image tag with this URL, automatically they're gonna send the friend request to me. Okay, so we need to figure out this one. So what it's supposed to do is that we're gonna take a we're gonna the add friends here. So I made up this HTML file. That is, I'm going to send it to that is a sense the Sammy sent this to the Alice. So what it's supposed to do is that let me copy the URL to let's see, there we go. Oops. Oh, that makes sense. So does it make sense to you guys? So okay, so when you know this is HTML, we will send it to the Alice. So okay, the Alice when encounters this URL, and then the Alice send trying to retrieve the image from the servers, right? CRSF lab elk.com with her cookie, and then the solver recognize herself, and then legitimately, and then this request is successfully made, right? So and then right, and then let's take a look at. Okay, you can see that. Go log out, and Alice. Uh, okay, the Alice. I log in the Alice. Okay, I pretend I'm an Alice, but I'm waiting for the HTML code, and then here is the member. You can see that there's no one the friends, right? So the friends, there's no friends yet, right? So so the Sammy sends the malicious URL to me, all right? And then so okay, this is a sender, I click it, so the Alice doesn't know what happened. You can see that the Sammy was his friend. So without Alice accepted this except this is a friendship or something like that. So automatically friendship is made on the social network, which means that you can see that in the code, you know, there is an image code, is an image yours. So let me see it's how to make it bigger though. But this is HTML code, and the image in the image is that, the Alice browsers. This is Alice browser. Alice browser, when Alice browser encounter this is the URL, and the URL is they send a request URL with her cookie, and then browser, and then also in a server with social network server, ELG server, um, you know, to parse the cookie and the verify cookie, and then they believe that the request the came from the Alice, legitimately came from the Alice's browser. That's why this is a request that was successfully uh, made, and then the friendship is also made. So you can see that previously Alice doesn't have a friendship, right? So this is a kind of tag. Okay, this is another. I'm gonna show you another attack. This is a get method attack. So we're gonna show you the poster attack. Is a poster attack is the poster method attack is that I'm gonna give you another scenario is that so after adding himself to the Alice the friend list, Sammy wants to do something more. So like he wants Alice to say Sam is my hero in her profile, so everybody knows about that. And Alice doesn't like Sammy, and offering the statement herself. The Sammy plan to use also the CSRF attack to achieve that goal. So this is the purpose of the kind of attack. So previously, this is the get method. The get method, you can see that That is all the request is appended, or all the information appended the URL. Like for example, add in the friends 59. 59 is the ID of the semi. And then however get method is that you can see that I will show you the semi. Let's go back to, okay, so you can see that there's a profile. There's profile nothing here in an Alice. I'm gonna the Semi want to put the, Semi is my hero on the Alice because Semi is a uh stalker of the Alice. So that's why. So they want to edit the Alice profile. So let's go out the log out and then let's go back to Semi. All right, so let's take a look at the profile here. Edit the profile. Okay, let's take a look at the inspect element. And inspect element is that so we need to look at the save this file, save this button. How to informations when you modify, like for example, hello and something like that. I'm Sammy, and then I want to see how this message is sent to this message sent to my profile, and then how the message is saved in the profile. So let's take a look at in the Sammy. Okay, let's look at. There we go. So you can see that there is a form. The form is a post, and then also this is a edit, and there's an action is edit, and then also multi-part, and then the method is post. And you can see that there is a field. Um, for example, input is here. The value is a semi, and the name is name, and then also you can see that the text, long text. And you can see here, let's see. Yeah. Yeah, so for example, no, sorry. So here is a profile, brief description. So this is a value, and when you say something here, and then this value is sent to here. So it's like a name is a brief descriptions, and the value is nothing, and save the text. So as soon as you click the save button here, so all the information is sent over HTTP head, and then using the over the HTTP post. So you can see that. So right. So let's let's conduct attack. So okay. So I made up this HTML code that I'm going to send to Alice. So here is a JavaScript code, and the first post in the function is that the field is that you can see that, right? So here the value should be, give me 1 second. The value should be, what the value should be here? Anyone guess? So because when I trying to modify the semi is the profile, the value is a semi. What are you supposed to put what kind of value I supposed to put in? Yes, right. So 56 is user ID, but this is just name. So I need to put the Alice here, right? And then Alice is supposed to be here. And then what kind of value I supposed to put in here? So what kind of message I want say here. So Sammy is my hero, right? That is my message. I want to put in her profile. And then the value is 2, and then GUID is the 56 or 59, which one? So think about that. Who clicked this URL and who sent this the message, the value to the server? Whose cookie the send to the server? So yes, that's right. It's a 56. So 56 and the 56, this is all the information regarding all the information related to the Alice, except this brief description. And then, when server receives this message, they believe that this is a message request that came from legitimately from Alice. So that's why I pretend, okay, this is Alice and the user ID is 56. And the P action is that you can see that I show you the previously URL that this information sent to, right? So here is right the CSRF lab, the elk.com action profile edit. This is a message to here, right? So and then automatically the LSC clicked this HTML code and automatically this is loaded and then this is request sent to the server, right? And then let's take a look at. All right, and then I pretend this message is sent to the Alice and curious what it is, and then just click it, and it happens. Okay, and then log out, and then let's go to Alice. All right, and then go to profile. Oh, nothing has changed. Oh, sorry about that. So before I click it, I supposed to be the login and the cookie because the cookie should be send along with the request message to the servers, right? That's why the Alice should be logging this website, and then because the cookie should be sent to the server. Okay, and then while she is logging and I click it and then the same is my hero is automatically added. So even though Alice didn't anything, but the automatically this briefly description is changed. So what you can see here is that CSRF tag presumably require assumptions. The first one is that user should be logged in because the cookie is sent to. Cookie is very important here. So cookie is very important. That's why cookie should be sent to the server, and the server is not malicious server. Server is benign, and the server that verify the cookie, and it believes that this is a request that came from the legitimately came from the legitimate user. So that's why they should be logged in. Okay, and then let's go back the slide. Okay, CSR. This is a CSRF attack, right? This is a XSS attack, cursor site scripting attack. You can see that the difference, right? The attackers and inject a malicious script. The attacker put in the malicious JavaScript here, and then when client requests the contents, and then execute malicious because, and then they're gonna get the receive a malicious script and then HTML code, and then the client has no idea this is whether the script is malicious or legitimate. This executed malicious script as thought the server is meant to run it. So and then this malicious code is run. So, and then after, clients execute malicious code, and then clients send that this is very sensitive credential and the private informations to the attackers. You can see the difference between the CSRF attack and its XSS attack, right? I'm going to show you another demonstrations. Okay. Oops. Okay, so I'm going to share another virtual machines that, okay, you can see the virtual machines here. This is another different virtual machine. I'm going to conduct the XSS attack. So XSS attack, oops. XSS attack, so we're gonna perform, oops, sorry again. So we're gonna conduct a XSS attack, XSS attack. So we're gonna perform attack similar to Semi did, the MySpace. You previously remember that is the same is warm is that, you know, who the people, those who have seen the Semi and automatic send a request to the Semis in the MySpace, right, in 2005 in the back like 20 years around 15 years ago there is a worm we have briefly covered what kind of semi worm and then also who have seen the semi's profile in the MySpaces and then the people those who have seen the semi's profile automatically send the friends request and then after 20 hours and 1 million friends requests is sent to the semi. So I'm gonna conduct a very similar x-axis tag and then write access a worm that add semi as a friend to any other users who visit the semi pages. So what you're supposed to do is to change the edit the JavaScript into the edit profile. So here, so I'm gonna put it my JavaScript launcher JavaScript here and automatically who see the page and then they're gonna send their friend request. Okay, so I'm gonna copy to the code. Oops. Okay, I'm gonna make the code and then here, oops. 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 This is okay. I'm gonna copy code. This is supposed to be the problems here. Okay, so there we go. So here is the about, so briefly explain. So so I'm gonna put in the JavaScript here. So automatically who saw this my profile and they send a request. You can see that. I'm gonna briefly explain what it is, the code. So the Ajax in the HTML request automatically request who the 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 people who have seen my profile automatically send a request to you know this solver and then request and send the get method and you can see then access lab lab at elg.com action friends add this is a different domain though and the friends the 59 is a semi right so if Alice saw this semi as a profile automatically send the friends and the token the timestamp friends even token timestamp here and then send this is a or my page is send it so and then so click in so all right so and save it. All right, take a look at. You can see that there's a profile is changed, and then profile is changed, profile is hidden, but there's a you can see that there's a JavaScript is embedded. So let's log out. Let's go to the back to Alice. You can see that this is I rolled back all the database and then you can previously I conducted a CSRF attack, but after that we had the semi and then the Alice is a friends right now, but I rolled back all the database and reset this website and then there's no friendship between the Alice and then the semi, just for information. Okay, this Alice, let's look at the C, the friends, she has nothing. So let's go back to profile and the friendship. Okay, so I want just because for example, Sammy send the DM to the Alice, so and then I'll curious who is the Sammy, and I click the Sammy, and then automatically, as soon as Alice look at this JavaScript and the profile that include the JavaScript and automatically the friendship was sent friendship is made. So you can see they go to, oh, and the semi, there's nothing here. And if you go to friendship, and the semi was automatically added. Previously, the semi is not added. So for example, okay, let's try it again. Remove friends, okay, and then go to friendship. There's no friends add here. But if you go to, okay, so the semi, oh, Sammy looks very suspicious. I don't know who he is. I'm gonna ignore him. But however, after you know, after look at this one, and then Alice can have the Sammy as a friend. Hello, who? Hello? I don't know who's unmuted though. All right, so the Sammy is you can see that you can. All right, so you can see that Sammy is a Sammy and Alice. As soon as Alice saw the Sammy's profile and the friendship is made, and the Sammy can see the the post only shared only for her friends and stuff like that. So this is a access attack. So I'll show you the access attack. Right, let's go back to slide. So this is very simple, right? You can see the difference between the two attacks. Oops. Okay, so this is a access attack demonstrations. And then I'm going to show you some updates. So program assignments 1, exercise set 2 is grades released. And then if you have any question and concerns, please send the email. So, and then I guess all of you already checked your score. And then so you're really good class so far. You're really good. So and the average really high, and then really good. And then most people get if you keep this performance, and then most people get A. So you're really good. You have a really good performance right now. And then so in another update is that I'm gonna give you a break for 1 day because previously we had a spring break, but however, due to the pandemic, we don't have a spring break. So I know this is a course intensive, and then a homework and the program assignments are very intensive, and then also you're gonna take another coursework, right? So you're gonna take a 4 and 5 coursework, and this is very intensive, and then so you may need a one break. That's why I'm gonna give you 1 day the spring break for you. So we're gonna have no class in after midterm, following the midterm. So in the midterm in this Thursday, and then after Tuesday, so we're supposed to have a class regarding the cryptography. However, I'm gonna cancel the class, and you're gonna take a break, and then also accordingly, deadline exercise 3 and the program assignment will be postponed as well. So I'm gonna give you a couple more days, and then you're gonna take a break a couple days after the midterm, and then so I'm gonna delay deadline for 2 homeworks, exercise 3, program assignments is a Monday midnight before I think it's a Monday. March 22 is Monday midnight. So I hope take a break, and then because this is just we just turn around the half of the course and then take a break, and then you're the just to get some exercise, and then also the fresh and some eat very healthy food and stuff like that, and then so refresh yourself. So too, because the homework can be intensive, so I want to give you some break for you guys. So so no question. No, do you have any questions regarding this one? Okay, so sorry about that. I missed the chat. So sorry about that. Okay, okay, all right. Thank you. So yeah, so I hope I want to give you 1 week, but 1 week is a week very, we're gonna miss a lot of material. So I know my classes cover a lot of materials. That's why I want to give you some break. So and because I really appreciate, actually, I really appreciate your very hardworking on my course, and your performance is really good. Because your average of your midterm exam, not midterm exam, the exercise set and program assignments, people are really good so far. So I know this is a course is very intensive, and we're gonna cover a lot of material, but you are really good at catch up to the material and then keep your good performance. So I really appreciate it though. So I'm gonna give you a break. So I'm gonna postpone and then the exercise 3 and then assignments 2. And then so there is this is only animation is broken though. So the logistics about the midterm. So Thursday we're gonna have the midterm exam on the Thursday, and then 8:10 on the same time on the course. And then this is very similar to quiz. You're gonna see it on the campus. You can see the questions on the canvas, very similar to quiz. So the multiple questions and the true and false. I'm gonna provide you more details about the exams in the next slide. So, but the camera, so I needed to check your identity. Please turn on your camera. So if you don't have a camera, please let me know beforehand. So I'm gonna make a arrangement for, so why do you don't have a camera or something like that? So because prevent the proxy testing or something like that. So I need to check your identity. So sorry about that. Sorry for, convenience, but I need to check your identity. That's why I want you to turn on your camera. And then this is the open book and a note in the slide, but there's no way to, and the close your, this is open book and a note in a slide, which means you can reference your book and a note in a slide. So, but the thing is that, but I hope you don't look at the questions and the answers. Look for the questions and then Google in the inner resources. But however, there's no way for me to you now look up this information in internet. So this is on a course. So this is up to you. So if you believe yourself, so you can. So don't. So I hope you don't look up your informations in the internet. So this is on a course on a code, and then most important thing is that don't share the answers with your friends over chat program or whatever, like a iMessage or or Slack or whatever chat to ensure answers your the friends. This is the most important thing. So if you solve the question, this is the individual. This is the exam is individual the exam. So it's not group exam. So which means that if you got the cut, you will get a 0 points, and also you will get F on the this is a and then so because don't share the answers, and then because we the campus have a Canvas can cut the similarity of your answers. So which means that if you share the answers, and then the Canvas automatically detect if there is a if the answer is a copy or paste or they shared with the friends, something like that. They're gonna have a features. They're gonna have a features of the matching your answers, that you can see that how the similarity are between your answers and your friend's answers. So don't try it at all. Yeah, so don't try to share the answers. Okay, so like Douglas asked questions, here's a format. So there's a three type of question. Actually, more than three types. True and false questions, multiple choice, drop down, and the short answers is should be there's a one, two, three, four types, and then it's a long form answers. A long form answer is very similar to the quiz, right? For example, I asked questions previously, what is the side channel tag? Because I have asked questions before, right? This is very similar too. So, and let's look at the true and false. The questions is a point is 2 or 3 points. We're gonna have a 12 questions. I expect you can finish each question in 1 minute. So, however, it's a tricky question. There's 2 minutes. It's a true and false questions. Very simple. But some questions are very simple, but some questions you may think what it means though. So, all right. So true and false questions. And there is multiple choice, and you can see that. So, for example, 1 plus 1 is a 2 or 3, 4, 5. There's a multiple choice. You can pick the one of them. And then also drop down is that also very similar to the multiple choice, which means that there is a sentence, and the then sentence there's a blank, and the blank you need to choose one of the drop down. And then there is a four drop down or of the each questions is a 1 point or 2 points for each blank. So this is a partially is graded. So even though you didn't collected all the correct all the answers, you will get the partially the score. For example, there is a four blank, and if you correct the one just the one blank, you will get the 1 or 2 points out of 8 points, or it's 4 points, something like that. All right, this is a partially graded. And then also there is a short answer as well. Short answer, so there is a blank, there is a blank, and then you need to type answers. For example, so for example, is then CSRF is stands for something. For example, this is not an exam though. The CSRF is CSRF that stands for something something something, right? You need to fill out the blank. This is a multiple choice drop down and short answers. This is all around the 2 points for each the blank. So which means that the drop down um, the questions may have four blanks and it is 8 point, right? So if you correct each drop down, you will get the 2 points for each blank. So, all right, and the multiple choice is 2 points, and the long form, the question is that like 10 points, 15 points, and 20 points. So I'm going to give you tips. So, for example, 7 questions, and then I think half of them, I think I can't recall the exact number, but half of them is has example code. So, example code is I'm going to show you the example code, and then you need to find some vulnerabilities. You need to find the vulnerabilities in this example code. So, which means that you guys should look at the example code of a slide, because we have seen many vulnerable code in the slide, right? Take a look at each, the code in the slide and see what's kind of vulnerabilities. Okay. And then there is a partial point there. For example, yes, so there is a partially, for example, 15 points, the questions, I'm going to ask you, like, you need to find at least three vulnerabilities in code. And then each vulnerability have 5 points. Each vulnerability is 5 points. So even though you didn't find all the three of them, so you will partially get the points. For example, what if you found one vulnerability, you will get the 5 points on the out of the 15 points. Okay, and then that's it. And then let's do it. Any questions regarding the format? This is very simple. I want to ask you questions. I'm gonna give you a lot of time, but some people who have the class immediately after my class, so that's why I want to give you 100 minutes for this midterm. So do you have can you raise your hands if you have a class after this class, like 9:30? Do you have any class after 9:30? So, okay, so can you tell me when is the start? Oh, 9:50. Okay, 9:50 is fine, right? So because I'm gonna give you 100 minutes, so 100 minutes, 1 hour and 30 minutes, maybe it should be end at 9:40. So 9:40 is works for you guys, right? Right. So do you have any objection, or do you have? All right, cool. So I want to give you more time. So I hope you guys, I want to make these questions to give you more points, and then I want to give you, I my hope is to give you all A's to you all guys. So, but uh, but the people only for people who studied in the slide, who attended my classes. I hope you will get the all A's on the all this class. That's why the question, maybe some questions very tricky, but as long as you fully understand the materials in the slide, you will get the 100 score. Maybe not on the score, but the 90, 98 or very higher score, I bet. So don't worry about the midterm exam. All right. So any questions regarding format? So don't worry about that. So also, if this is the first time the midterm exam, so I'm gonna look at the statistic of the midterm after grading this midterm exam, and then also I'm gonna decide I'm gonna make it the final exam easier or more difficult. It depends on the statistic of the midterm exams. So, all right, so. If you feel very difficult, and then let me know. I'm gonna make it more easier. I'm gonna make it more, so more understandable thing questions, something like that. All right. And then recap the what you learned so far. So we have a first day, we have seen the basic security concept, right? Basic concept. You should remember three things, right? Confidentiality, availability, stuff like that. And then you can look at what is the means by that. So, and then also um, take a look at, and so there is a two things, right? First thing is attacker. Think like attackers, think like a defenders, right? So and let's take a look at the example code on the basic concept, basic security concept. There is a vulnerability code and see what kind of vulnerability is code. And then also, let's take a look at the software security, and then we first look at the buffer overflow. So you guys already conducted a buffer overflow attack against our homework, right? Programming homework. So what you're supposed to know is that the stack layout, right? Stack layout, and they see how you conducted the buffer overflow attack, right? So you need to know the stack layout, and then so how you can conduct the buffer overflow attack, right? So you need to remember that, and then also look at the other software vulnerabilities, right? So, and then the countermeasures. For example, countermeasures, how your countermeasure works and how countermeasure can be defeated. So this is very important, right? So attack and the countermeasure. This is very important, no matter what it is. Like for example, web security also I address is attack, and then you need to show the countermeasures as well. So the the strength of you need to know that the strength of counter attack, countermeasures, and then also the weaknesses of countermeasures. So you can see that. And then we have a look at the operating system security and the permissions, right? We know the permissions, race conditions, and then stuff like that. You need to look at, you know, there's also, I provided some example code in the operating system security as well. You need to look at the code and see what kind of vulnerabilities in there. And you need to fully understand the code, right? Even though it's written in C, I'm gonna and then also there's another notice that there is the example code. However, there's a grammar errors there. Uh, there is grammar error, but ignore the grammar error. So we're gonna look at the logical, problems there. Okay, so even though I missed the semicolon example code, just ignore it. You didn't get the points if you found the semicolon or stuff like that. The semicolon was missed in the exam code, so it doesn't make sense. So just to look at the logic problems of the exam code. Okay, and then so take a look at we have a look at the network 101, and then the network 101 is that we have a 7 layers, right? And then specifically we'll take a look at application layer and the transfer layers, and then also transport layer, and then also network layer, and to take a look at what it is, to take you need to take a concepts of each layer. And then the web security is that, SQL injection, CSRF, and the XSL attack. So you already, as I said last class, you need to see the difference between CSR attack and XSL attack. This is actually one of the questions I'm gonna in the exam. So you need to verify, you need to know what's the difference between that. This is a very important actually. So I'm gonna show you one of the examples, one of the questions I already in the term exam. So you need to find the difference between that. And then also there is a countermeasures, right? There's countermeasures against CSRF attack and XSS attack. So you need to look at what is the pros and cons of the countermeasure. So as long as you understand all the concept, you will get the 100 points, 100 score point, and the total score is maybe 150, I guess. As far as I remember, I made this midterm exam last weekend, but I can't recall the exact the score number, but it's plus or minus 10 and the minus, around 100, around 100, around the 150 score. So. All right, and then good luck. And then do you have a, do you have do you guys have any questions regarding midterm and anything? All right, so thank you so much, and that's it. So I hope you guys all the people get the 150 score, 100 score, and I mean the max score, and then I hope you guys get the A as a final score, you know, as a final score of this course. All right, so and then good luck, you guys. Good luck, you guys, in midterms. And then so also after midterm, I'm gonna get some feedback on the midterm exam though. But anyway, good luck, and see you on Thursday. And then good luck, you guys.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. Oh, and then one thing is that so in the Thursday we're gonna have a no office hour, and then also in the next Tuesday we're gonna have a no office hour. Okay, just for information. All right, thank you.